To
Cool.
start, before I get into my questions, can I just ask you kind of briefly, give me the kind of brief rundown, 30 seconds, kind of pre having your cafes, pre being in business, what your background is, and then just give me a brief rundown because you have a lot of different stuff going on as to kind of your current operations.
Yeah, I suppose so. I started off in the restaurant industry, working as a chef. Started off working in a bar, and absolutely loved it. And bit by bit, made my way up. And as I was making my way up, I sort of noticed I was like, "Where's all the old chefs? There's no
Mm.
old chefs, you know." So I realized pretty early that I had to make my way to the other side of the path if I wanted to be in this industry for a very long time, because I absolutely just love it. So I started making mistakes with other people's money, which is a great way to start, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Found some great people who would just piled on the responsibility, left me at it, and bit by bit by bit, I just started to just go and view little cafes all over the place, and then one popped up in Drogheda 7 years ago. It's €800 per month. Myself and two staff members started it off, and 7 years later, there's 47 staff members and three locations. So it's been a whirlwind. So we're three cafes. We're Five Good Things in Drogheda. We're Plate and Pallet Cafe in Dunshaughlin, and we're Arboy Bailey in Dunboyne. And we're breakfast, lunch, and brunch, and it's all proper, handmade, by chefs, specialty coffee, real focus on, you know, something different, not just the same thing you'll get everywhere else. And that's just in a nutshell.
Deadly. And not to start on a downer question, we'll go more positive, but you hear all the time, and maybe it's just the kind of media that I follow, but you know the kind of the difficulties of running a business in Ireland at the moment, especially a food business, and you have the energy crisis, and you have the staff crisis, and you have the VAT.
Mhm.
It just all seems to be negative. As a man that's like very like running a business, multiple businesses, talk to me a bit about that. Like how difficult is it at the moment?
Do you know, Evan, it's absolutely heartbreaking because it's something that I absolutely love. Like I really like love every second of it, and it's really hard. People ask how's it going, and it's be like, to be honest, like my mental health like has taken an absolute bashing since, and you can pinpoint the day that it happened. It was as soon as that VAT rate changed, you know. Whereas we would have had to you know, you just have to find such a huge chunk of money. And I really don't like talking bad of it, but anytime I meet anyone in the industry, it's always like, what are we going to do? How are we going to get out of it? So, yeah, the VAT9 campaign there the other day was great, but I don't have much confidence in them changing it at all. So, I don't know. We're coming to an industry where the catering default will be gone. Table service will be gone. You'll be up to a screen. You'll be tapping numbers. You'll be looking at a screen when your number comes up. You'll hear your number called out. You'll have a bag and you'll throw it in the bin. And that's literally where we're going. They're the sort of concepts that are working now, and it's really sad to see because, you know, a cafe is not just about the food. It's the food, the music, the service, the consistency. It's a whole orchestra of things. It's not just one thing. So it's very sad to see that like there's just so much doom and gloom in the industry. It's just it's absolutely heartbreaking. Like there was a period there during the like a few months ago where it wasn't like, oh, I wonder has a restaurant closed today. It was how many restaurants have closed today.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse now after the summer as well. So it's just, my heart goes out to everyone in the industry, but yeah, it's not the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. You know, when you look at like when I was kind of growing up, you'd often hear the classic like restaurant numbers. You might have like, you know, 30% food cost and 30% labor, and then when it all breaks down, then you get your 10% net profit at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, that worked maybe when the energy prices were at a certain point, but then they double, and then the cost double, and
Mhm.
then you have the labor, and as you said, now the VAT. I remember when I was having my own business, I was looking at that and I was like, well, hold on, this thing is there's no longer 10%, but there's no longer 543. There's nothing there.
No.
Like
Yeah,
it's
the Restaurant Association had a report there about a month ago saying that the average restaurant in the last quarter of 23 took a minus 0.08 gross profit, and that changed to plus 1.8% profit in the first 3 months of this year, supposedly. But we're still just all making up because it's hospitality. Like we're here to give love to the customers. We care about the price. Like, and
Yeah.
the thing that you're up against today is you're like, how can I charge that much? Like you go and you cost like, and like you were saying, you used to go off your 74% gross profit on your food dishes. Now maths is just broken now.
Yeah.
Them maths do not add up anymore. That is wrong maths. If you're going off 74% and 4% wastage, it's not right. It's not enough to survive. Like, so it's just yeah, it's you cost up like a smoked salmon Benedict or whatever, and you're like, this is 17.50.
Yeah.
Like how on earth? How on earth? Like I'd be laughed off the menu, but then people want it. So you've just it's an impossible time. And then later on in the year when we have the payroll or the
Yeah.
pension contribution coming as well, like what's going to happen that day when that happens? Like the customers just, I don't know, customers can sort of think that restaurants and mechanics are always out to shaft them. We're
Yeah.
just doing our job. We're just like, you come in with a broken car, or like we're just trying to put food on the plate, like, and keep the customers happy. But like, we're not doing it because we've all got Lamborghinis.
No.
We're literally just trying to survive and just trying to get through this year and all the years that have been.
Yeah, it's like that every year.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. I'll ask you the last one. I know this wasn't the plan
Yeah,
for
no
the
worries.
chat, but we'll finish up on this one and move on to something a bit more positive. What do you think? And maybe you don't have an answer for this, but what do you think is the solution? So, because everyone seems to think the VAT is going to be this amazing big thing, but do you think?
I think it is the VAT. I really like it's the VAT's not happening, so it's not the VAT, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it is the VAT because the VAT will so say if we used to go off like a 4% profit margin, now that profit margin is zero. So if you bring back the VAT, there's 4.5% that comes back again.
Yeah.
So that 0.5% will shield us over the next few months of what's going to happen, and then that 4% brings us back to profit, and then when the pension contribution comes in, it'll bring us back down again to less profit. So yeah, I don't know, the customers just being okay with everything costing way more. I suppose that's the real answer, because that's what's going to happen, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm really interested in your cafe businesses, Turlach, because as you said at the outset, they're really high quality, and they're like kind of like, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't use this phrase, but kind of foodie, chefy places. When I look at them,
Yeah.
they're not kind of your standard cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And you have three separate concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide, as you were growing, to a lot of places just do they would have replicated the same cafe? Why
Yeah.
did you decide to do three individual ones?
Well, so Five Good Things started myself before I met my wife Aoife, and that was because it was in a tiny little cafe with like 16 seats in it, and there was 5 things on the menu. And then we moved the day before COVID. We moved to our new location, and then Plate and Palette was myself and Aoife set it up. So I'm a chef, so that's Plate, and then Palette, artist Palette. Aoife studied fine art, and then Arboy Bailey is a dog friendly concept, so dogs are running around in that place, and it's great crack. And yeah, the reason behind it is to give something individual to each location, to each little town, so it's not just copy paste something, like, so we could have different logos, different branding. It was something that each little village owns. Like Plate and Palette is Dunshaughlin, it'll always be Dunshaughlin. Five Good Things is a Drogheda institution. Arboy Bailey just opened up a year ago in Dunboyne, and yeah, they all have their different quirks, and I suppose it's what you can do in each kitchen as well. If the EHO will come in and tell you, you can't have this or that or whatever. So yeah, it was really to give a unique thing to each town and that we moved into, really.
Okay, so in terms of managing three separate locations, different areas, different counties, some of them, what would you say would be the biggest? That seems to me like a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, like a challenge.
Yeah.
Talk me through that.
Well, they're actually, so I'm living right in the middle of them all. So I'm 25 minutes to Drogheda, I'm 15 minutes to Dunboyne, I'm 10 minutes to Dunshaughlin. So it's grand in that regards. And then the hardest part about managing it is the people. Obviously, it's when you've got, like, food is grand. Food's the easy bit, but it's when you've got 45 different personalities. So like, you know, I feel like as you grow a team and you've got like 10 or 12 people in a team, you know, it's very easy because you're there, you're above them all, and you can really put I suppose the culture of the business is the most important thing for me, you know. So when you're there and you've 10 or 12 staff members, it's grand. But as soon as you go to 24 or 34 or 44 or 48,
Yes.
you've got cliques, you've got different people, you've got a lot of different personalities. So
Yeah.
then it comes down to absolutely management. Amazing management. So that's what we have in each location. We've got an absolutely brilliant head chef in each location. We've got a great manager in each location. And then we've got a general manager as well. Shout out to Keelan. She is the best in the world. She's an organizational genius. Like, do what you're good at. Like, you know, I'm good at dishes and people and that sort of thing. And Keelan's absolutely fantastic at telling me what to do and the emails that I need to send and the stuff I need to sign and that sort of thing. So it really is about really strong management. Like, you know, we were able to, you know, take 2 weeks off, and like myself and Aoife aren't vital to the business, you know, it keeps
Yeah.
turning without us, you know. So yeah, really good management is the key.
Okay. Interesting. Um, what I know we talked about kind of the challenges and stuff at the start. Is future expansion on your mind now, or what is the plans for the future?
I would love to be. I would absolutely love to be, but at the minute, it's I don't know. Like you look like I was looking back through some old photos and I saw some old invoices from Cisco and Henderson's and X, Y, and Z. And you look back and it's like €13 for 5 litres of olive oil. You know, €7.20 for a 10 kilo bag of baked potatoes. €19 for a thing of oil or thing of mayonnaise. Like, these prices are gone. These prices are gone. And then like around last Christmas there was like a slight little spike down, and a few little ingredients will come down a little bit, and then they're just shooting straight back up now. So like, food costs are crazy. It's crazy, like all the staff costs. So yeah, I would love to be doing something, but just at the minute, like, you know, it's time to just sit still and just get through the year and just yeah, hope for light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, it's not for lack of ideas. It's just because, you know, that idea has loads of people, and you know, if you have a business idea now that needs loads of people, it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I'll finish up on two more last ones, Turlach. The kind of general consensus when I chat to kind of people that aren't in the industry, maybe friends and mates of mine and stuff about eating out, they always say the same thing, that it's really expensive and the
Yeah.
quality is just kind of rubbish out there across the board.
Yeah.
You know, I think what they're really touching on, I would agree, is that, you know, the last couple of years, obviously costs have gone up across the board, but the quality of stuff has gone down because, you know, and I was liable to myself, when you're looking at trying to make the business work, sometimes an obvious or simple solution or the easy solution is just to drop the quality, right? You know, to cut costs. Is that something, I've never eaten on your place, they look amazing, but is that something that has been a challenge or has gone through your mind at any point?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's hard to put up the prices. You know, it's the very last thing you want to do. Like, and to be honest, I absolutely learned my lesson. Like, as soon as that VAT hike came in last year, I should have upped the prices straight away. I was like, oh no, we can weather it, and no, I don't want to do that to the customers or whatever. But like, I just should have upped it straight away. And yeah, like there always are cheaper alternatives out there for every product that you can possibly get, but no, it's never anything that's come across our minds. We just try to engineer it differently, and if it's just if I'm looking at it and it's annoying me on menu, I'm just like, we have to take it off, because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night charging X, Y, and Z. But like, look, I heard someone say, like, you know, the €6 coffee is coming.
Wow.
You know, the €17 full Irish. Like, and I'm talking about the €17 full Irish. Like, in 4 years' time, a bad quality full Irish will be €17. Like,
Yeah.
easily. Like, you know, where are we going to? Like, you know, when you pick a place to go on holidays, you're like, oh, let's go to Portugal or let's go to Croatia because the prices are cheap. Now we're like going to Sweden or like Amsterdam, or like, you know, we are the top of the most expensive places. So like, yeah, I don't know where it's going to go, because yeah, like, you know, a steak now, you know, a steak will be 50 quid in a few years' time. Like, it's shocking. The inflation is running away with it, and it's going to push people away from us. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me finish up on this one. I always find it interesting when I chat to guys like you that kind of, especially that are interested in concepts and ideas and stuff, and restaurants and business stuff, to ask them kind of, is there any concept or restaurant that's out there at the moment that you either kind of said, oh, I wish I'd started that, or that you would look up to?
Yeah. Well, like they're not like, look, you have to look at Press Up Group and just be like, holy shit, like you do, like there's a guy in the UK that I watch, James Sinclair is his name. Brilliant. If you want to learn about business online, his YouTube videos are fantastic, and he talks about vertical integration, where all the business keeps feeding itself. So he has like loads of businesses over there. He has he's like a indoor play center that's a play school. Then he bought an ice cream place, and then he bought this and this, and then all the ice cream feeds into this place, and then he bought coffee shops, and then he bought a hotel. And the Press Up Group is the same. Like, they what the Skellig chocolates, and you see Skellig chocolates in every room, and they bought they own Tower Records, and you see the record player in every room. Yeah, and then you see and they bought Skellig chocolates, and you see that in all the rooms, and it's just one big. And then they own Oakmont, which is the building side of it. It's it's a giant business, but you have to appreciate how everything fits together, and the dime coffee and everything like that. I'm not saying it's the best in the world. I'm just saying it's a pretty badass business that I wouldn't mind have started.
But even they've had their difficulties in recent years. So
absolutely, they let go of half of their workforce and head office. They're getting bought out there. Yeah, and it's just a sign of the times.
Yeah.
If the big guys are like that, So to everyone else out there in the restaurant industry, we're all feeling it. It's terrifying, but we're getting through it somehow.
Deadly. Turlach, it was great to chat. It was great to connect finally, not just over the Instagram.
You too, man. I really appreciate it, and your podcast is fantastic. Keep it up, man. It's brilliant.
Deadly. Thanks a million, man. I appreciate it.
Chat to you soon, man. Bye bye.